When my parents passed away, they believed that their perfect little girl was set in her life as a wife and mother. I always wanted to please them. And their happiest day was my wedding day. On that day, my dad takes calculated steps down the aisle with me on his arm. My mother wipes tears from her eyes as she watches her daughter marry a Cambridge-educated British man, a white man. You see, I was raised by a Puerto Rican father and an Appalachian mother. In the 1960s, I was adopted and brought over to the United States at the age of 1. And I was raised on good old pinto beans and ham hocks. So they were so thrilled when they knew that I was going to be married to this wonderful Liverpudlian man. So my husband, when we're planning our honeymoon, says, "Hey, let's go to Korea." And my response was, "Oh, hell no. There's so many places in the United States I've never been, honey." I know that my opinions sometimes confound him. He's always been really great, though, at letting me do as I do, I guess. It would be 20 years later from that moment that I would even entertain the idea of ever going back to Korea. We're watching our son as he struggles with the culture that his face betrays. My husband, being the wonderful person that he is again, decides he's going to move us to Korea. Now, what he doesn't know is that this is going to lead me to cheat on him. In the 5 short months that we're there, Korea becomes my concubine. When we leave, I imagine her lying next to me on the bed, feeding me the fruits of her landscape. And then she interrupts all my thoughts when we're in the United States, and I'm filled with sorrow and loss. 3 years later, my husband decides, "Hey, let's go. I've got a trip planned. We're gonna go to Thailand," top of my bucket list, by the way. And he's like, "And we'll have a weekend in Seoul." And I'm thrilled, because it's just gonna be the 2 of us. I get to spend time alone with him. But the minute the plane and we land on Korean soil, the roots, once pulled, start growing and rerooting into the soil of the Korean landscape and dig into the cracks of the Korean pavement. I can't be removed from her grasp. All I want to do is to stay there with her. I've neglected her for more than 40 years, and I feel that I need to make it up to her at the expense of my marriage. So, second night we're there, I beg my husband, "Please, I have to stay." She just doesn't want me to leave, not yet. I can't leave just yet. And it deeply wounds him. So I carelessly change my plans, and I send him on his way to Thailand. Now, once he's gone, I decide, hey, I am going to enjoy this. And so then I enjoy all the things that Korea means to me. Samjatang, ginseng soju, and sparkly contact lenses. So I'm a teenager again. I'm trying to regain that little bit of Korean youth that I missed out on. And then it appears before me, cutie eyes. So I walk in and I choose bright orange and deep indigo. And as I hand the shop owner my credit card, he goes, "Rosita Gonzalez?" Well, I'm used to that in the United States, not so much in Korea, because Korea is the place where I can, as long as I have my headphones in and my mouth shut, I just blend right in, and it's beautiful. And then while he's waiting to find out why I'm Rosita Gonzalez, I think, okay, just say it. And so I go, "I'm adopted." And he goes, "Oh, really? My older brother's adopted." And then he goes on, he was traveling with my mother when he was 4. He got separated from the family in a train station. And by the time my mother tracked him down, he had been sent to Belgium to be adopted. His brother and I, we share something. We share the same adoption agency. Then he says to me, "So, tell me about you. What's your story?" So I whip out my iPhone and I say, "Well, so this is my foster mother." And before I can finish, he says, "This is not your foster mother. This is your mother." I've looked at this picture for close to 50 years, and I've never seen my face in that woman's face. I mean, really, how could I? I mean, I was surrounded by faces that didn't look like mine. What I see now, though, is I see my daughter's face in hers. Each year, Korea pulls me to her, and I return every year, and she teaches me more about who I am as a Korean and what I hope to be more like her. And I hope someday I can see my own face in hers. Thank you.